Hi there, thank you for joining me today. I'm Sandra at artypapercrafters.com. Today my project is this card, which is called a double diamond fold card. And I don't know why, but it just calls into question that advert from years ago, a double diamond works wonder. So if you're my age, or you'll understand what I mean. And the card stands up like this, and I think it's very, very pretty, and I have made an excuse to get out my Bloomin' Love stamp set, which I haven't used for some time, but I just thought that it looked absolutely gorgeous on this card, and I just thought I've got to use it. And I've put my framelits inside my stamp set so that everything's together and when I need to use it. So that is what I have used to make this card today. I've also used the layering squares, mainly because you've got scalloped edges as well as your straight edges. Now you can, if you want to, just cut the pieces of card yourself on your board and just have straight edges, but because I've got my beautiful layering squares, I've used those. So let's get cracking on this double diamond card. So I've prepped up a piece of rose red cardstock, which measures 10 inches by 4 inches. The squares that go on it measure 1 at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, 1 2.5 by 2.5 inches. Then you need 2 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and 2 pieces that measure 1.5 by 1.5 inches. I've got a piece of vellum here, and I've already cut out one of my hearts using pink pirouette. So let's start with our scoring on the main piece of our card. So I'm going to bring in the scoring board. And we put the card in on the long side, and we are going to score it at 2 inches and 8 inches. And we are going to make a little mark on the 4-inch and the 6-inch edge. And we're going to turn it round, and we're going to do the same. We're just going to put a little mark on the 4-inch and 6-inch. And then we're going to turn it on the short side, and we're going to score that at 2 inches. Like that. So we're going to put the board away now, because we now need our ruler and our scoring tool, and we are going to measure in on here 3 inches. So we're going to make a little mark at 3 inches. Pull that down a bit and mark it on both sides. Three inches and 7 inches. And then with our ruler, we're going to put our ruler on that mark we made at 4, what was that, 6 inches was that? I think this was the... So we made a mark at 4 inches and 6 inches, so with the 6-inch mark, joining it up to your 7-inch mark, we're now going to draw a line, score a line, and the same on the other side. And then on the opposite side, the same thing. and obviously that's why this is called a double diamond fold, because you've now got a double diamond shape. So we are now going to fold our card. So we want to fold mountain, and then these ones go valley, so valley, and then valley, and then mountain. So I'll just get my bone folder, and we'll just score these a little bit. And then that folds in like that, and then with your bone folder just make those marks a little bit more creased on both sides. So that's our card. It's quite simple, and of course it folds flat to go in an envelope too. So that's how our card stands up. So now we're going to do a bit of stamping next. So we've got our pieces for the middle here, which are the bigger squares of 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. So they go together, and we're going to do our stamping at an angle like that. So I'm going to get my rose red ink. I'm going to get some scratch paper today. I keep making a mess of my board and it's driving me nuts. So just in case I go off the edges with any of my... So rose red ink, this is very vanilla by the way, I think I forgot to tell you that. And at an angle, love you. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And while we've got the stamp pad out, we're going to stamp our little squares here with our little picture. Oh, look at that. So because they've got 2 sides, we're going to have to use that other side now, aren't we? Made that mess. Well, that might not show. No, I'm going to use that side. Right, I seem to be getting ink all over myself today. So with the little motif, which is this one here, this little tiny one here, if I show you this, I've gone around the outside edge of that to just get a pretty pattern. So into our ink, and just go round the little outside edges. I think I may have stamped off on the other one, so this is a bit dark, but I don't think that matters, it's still going to be pretty. Oops. That's it. Put that away. So we are now going to layer those up and stick those onto our card. do love these layering framelit dies in all the shapes that they sell. I think they're gorgeous. And then I'm going to stick these onto the card. So this is the front of the card, so we're going to stick that on the front there. And doesn't that look so pretty? Oh, I love it. I love it. One on here. Like that. And then open that out to make it easy for ourselves. I'm going to stick this on here, so I'm opening that out so I can see how high up. Now it looks like where the two corners meet there, that's how I've stuck it down on there. So what you need to do is to just put glue to that halfway line. So this line up to here. Otherwise you're going to get into a mess and find that you're going to have to get rid of it. You wouldn't want that to happen. So let's move that along. Sit that there evenly, measuring it up. Looks good to me. There. Beautiful. Love it. Look at that. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? Right, let's get on and put our little heart on it now. So, I've already cut out in Pink Pirouette my first heart, but what I have done is I've layered it up with a heart cut out of vellum. I'll get my little flowers out of here because I didn't want to lose them. I have a habit of losing all these little pieces if I just leave them lying around. So let's get our big shot and cut our little piece out of vellum. And for that we need to use our precision base plate because it's an intricate die. So vellum on there, get our die face down, lid on, and we're going to run that through. I'm going to run it through 3 times because I want to make sure that it's definitely cut it out. It's probably not necessary with the base plate, but I just like to just make sure it cuts it out first time. So we'll move that over there, and then I'll get rid of the big shot. So it looks like it's already cut it out. So now I'm getting my little sponge with the little brush, which helps to get all the pieces out. So turn it to the back and very gently, because it's vellum, rub out those pieces. And as you can see, they fall out quite nicely. So let's take that off of there. Yep. And I'm going to get rid of those into the bin. before I do any more. Right, and if there's any that don't seem to pull out, just pull them out with your little pokey tool. But that's pretty clean to me. It looks pretty good. So just get off any little hairy bits, what I call little hairy bits that you seem to get with this. Once you cut it, and I like to get rid of them, they drive me nuts. So that's that. Get rid of that. So a very useful tool, that, for your intricate dies. Saves all that poking it out with your fingers business. Right then, so we're now going to layer that up. So what I have done, I've used some glue dots to glue the two together. Because I'm gluing them under the flowers, that's not going to notice. So where the little flowers are, I've put some glue dots. Because obviously I'm going to stick my flowers that I've cut out in the big shot too. With that. So with vellum, it's always a good idea to try and find a way to cover things up when you're trying to glue it together. So what I've done is I've offset slightly so that you've got some of that pink showing through. I just think that looks beautiful like that. I think you'll agree. And now we're going to stick our little flowers on that we've cut. So we need 2 of these big ones on there, 3 small ones on here, like that. So let's stick those on with some glue dots. I never know which way round these things are meant to go, or whether it matters or not. Oops. I think it's always good to get out your old stamp sets sometimes. You seem to put things in the back of the cupboard, forget about them, and it's a shame because they're just so gorgeous. You've just got to use them. Now these other 4 I have layered up and put those onto my side pieces, so we're going to just layer those up on top. Right. So now we're going to glue that on there. I'm going to put my little rhinestones on first, so let's put our little rhinestones on. Pretty, eh? Right then. So now we are going to use, I'm going to use my 2-way glue pen, but you can use the fine tip glue pen, because if you haven't got this, this has been retired now, but they have got still the fine tip glue pen. and I like that for the little details, to stick this to my card. So just glue on the bottom pieces, because this just sticks towards the bottom of the card. So, and then, whoops, and then we're going to position it at an angle. Maybe not an angle, because we still need to close the card. So I think that will work like that, and we will still be able to push that together like that. Yeah, that will still work like that. So press that down firmly. There, isn't that stunning? Let's stick on our little flowers with glue dots. So we're going to put those in the centre there with a couple of glue dots. And then we're going to lift those up a bit with our fingers. Stand them up. Like that. Get rid of all this mess. Press that down. So that's our project for today. So if you enjoyed this project and you would like to buy some Stampin' Up! Products and you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be really grateful if you could order through me. If you want the project details, click on that little down arrow button and that will take you over to the details and to my website. And until the next time, it's bye from me. Bye.